Hello, welcome to the Electrical Works program. My name is Jesus Vela and I am the instructor. Today we're going to be doing a program called Discovering Pi. Pi is used in many calculations, in mathematical calculations used in the electrical business. By the end of the lesson we will be able to know where pi came from, and we will actually discover how to compute pi ourselves. Before we start, we need to review three concepts: circle, circumference, and diameter. A circle is a set of points equidistant from the center. All the points equidistant from the center. That is a circle. Circumference is the measurement around the circle. It is the distance around the circle. Diameter. Diameter is a straight line that passes through the center. Okay. Any questions on circle, diameter, or circumference? Very good. Now, each of you have two pieces of paper in front of you that we're going to be using throughout this lesson. One of them is the instructions, step-by-step instructions that you are to follow. The second one, I have a representation on the board. It has three circles, a small one, a medium, and a large one. We're going to measure the diameter and the circumference of each circle. We are going to write the measurements in the appropriate boxes. The circumference from the small one will go into this area. The diameter of the small one, we're going to go into this area. We will later divide, using our calculator, the circumference divided by the diameter and put the results in the bottom box. We're going to do that for each circle. Are there any questions? Okay. One question? Yes, the question was, are we going to use inches? Yes, we will use inches and not millimeters for all the measurements. Any other questions? Yes, rounding, very important. Good question. We will round, let's round to the nearest 1/2. So if we have 7 inches, closer to 7 inches, put 7 inches. If it's closer to 7.5, put 7.5. And if it's closer to 8 inches, let's use 8 inches. But let's round to the nearest 1/2. Yes, one other question? Fractions or decimals? We will use decimals. 1 decimal place. So your answer can be 10.5, 10.0. Very good. Now let's begin. I like to use 3 very different circles. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to use a coaster for my small circle. I'm going to use a pie crust for my medium. And I'm going to use a pot holder for my large. Now, circles are two-dimensional. They do not exist. So we will ignore the thickness. Okay? Let's begin. In front of you we will find a measuring device, and you will find a calculator that we'll be using to calculate the results. Take the first circle, and I will apply the tape measure, and I get an answer of 12 inches. So you will write 12 inches for the circumference of the small circle. The next step is to find the diameter. Diameter, remember, is a straight line that passes through the center. So the diameter of this coaster, of this circle, I'm going to call it a circle, is 4 inches. Let's go to our second circle. Again, I will apply the same steps. I will measure the circumference, and I get a measurement of 36 inches for the circumference. And for the diameter, I'm going to round this to 11.5. Now for the large circle, let's put a starting point. $49. 49 inches for the circumference of my large circle. And now for the diameter of my large circle. Remember, it has to go through the center point. 15.5. Now the next step is to calculate the circumference by the diameter, and use your calculator. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Please use one decimal place. The second one, 36 divided by 11.5 equals 3.1. The third one, 49 divided by 15.5 equals 3.1. What do you see in the answers? 3.0, 3.1, 3.1. They're all very close. And it turns out that no matter how big the circle, you can take the circle of the Earth, and you will always come to 3.1. The variations are because we did not use exact measurements. Now, let's name this 3.1. Since this seems to be a special number, we can name it G. We can name it anything. X, it already has a name. It is called pi. And pi has a value of 3.1. I hope this demonstration explains, and I hope it will be used to remember what pi is. Pi is 3.1, as you have discovered yourself. Now, each of you take your instructions, and I would like each of you to compute your pi on the circles given to you. Thank you very much.